Good people, good people, good people. Welcome to another edition of Commanders Wrap, where you get all your Commanders news in 15 minutes. I'm your host, Dr. Wonderful, Doctor of Writing, Professor of English, and avid Commanders fan, joined here, as always, by my co host, Kevin Bayne. We air every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and replay at 10 a.m. on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. How are you doing today, Kevin?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. News came down this week that everything was signed off and the Commanders are coming home. It's officially official.
That is awesome.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it
So
is.
we definitely wanted to mention our own happiness about that. Kevin and
Yeah.
I have been for the Commanders returning to DC because Kevin and I never liked that the Commanders left DC.
Yeah.
So we've been on this thing for nearly what 2027. How long has it been?
Oh, gosh, it's been a while.
I feel like they left in what 94, 95, long enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, about 27 to 30 years ago since we've had our team. So I'm real happy that they're coming back, and I'm quite sure Harris and Company are going to move fast on that.
Yeah.
So let's get into our first segment, Kevin. And we're going to cover obviously some of the injury news that has us all concerned here in Commander's Land. And that those are the injuries to Austin Eckler, Dietrich Wise, Noah Brown, John Bates, and of course Jayden Daniels. We're going to start with the worst injury news possible, and that's that both Austin Eckler and Dietrich Wise were lost to season ending injuries. Eckler with the torn Achilles and Wise with a significant quad injury. Just devastating. What are your thoughts, Kevin, not only for the players who were injured, but also for how these two injuries could impact the team because both were starters?
Yeah. Not good. First, I want to say, look, I really feel for both Wise and Eckler, especially so early into the season. It's one thing to be injured and miss a little time. That's bad enough. But when your whole season is completely wiped out, it's sad, right? Like it is. Yeah, it's gonna hurt us. As far as the impact, it's gonna hurt. I'm hoping someone steps up on both sides. I think they brought in Wise is going to help the pass rush. I believe he had 5 or 6 sacks last year with the Patriots and hit a decent amount of hurries and quarterback pressures. Um, and then with Eckler, I mean, even at this point in that guy's career, he's an asset to not only us to any team, right? It's just how good the guy is.
Yeah.
He's a specialty back, pass catching back. We all know that. Um, he does a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, not all backs can catch out of the backfield. He was a reliable weapon for Daniels. Um, so either Bill or McNichols, C-Rod, someone has to step up here. I know they brought up Jalen Holmes, defensive end out of the practice squad, along with Chris Moore, wide receiver, were called up. And then I heard we just signed Chase Edmonds, who played.
And Preston
Yep,
Smith.
Smith. Yep, and Preston Smith, and I signed Chase Edmonds, who I believe was with Tampa back in 2023. Um, Ultimately, though, what this all means, I think, is more pressure for Jayden Daniels. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I agree. We got to keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. Now let's start with the other significant injury news as well, and that was about Noah Brown, John Bates, and Jayden Daniels. And of course, Noah Brown had been injured early in OTAs, and so he was in and out. And now he's injured again, and injuries were always a concern with him.
Mm-hmm.
John Bates also has a soft tissue issue, same injury, same as Noah Brown. Dan Quinn does report, though, that he's not actually putting them on the injury report. I do not believe. He believes that they will come back from these injuries at some point in time. But
Okay.
the biggest concern is actually, obviously, Jayden Daniels, right? And Dan Quinn has listed him as day to day with a sprained knee. And Kevin, we've already discussed this. I'm not happy about this. Jayden Daniels was hit about 11 times last
Yep.
week against Green
Yep.
Bay, and now he out here gimping around. Not a fan. So, give us your thoughts on the Daniels, Brown, and Bates injuries.
Um, yeah. With Bates, look, I don't see anybody get injured. I don't think it hurts us too bad there. I thought initially it would have brought some more opportunity actually to Senate. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with all that. But we still have Ertz as well. Um, and good old, downtown Noah Brown, as you mentioned too, he's not the most healthiest person. Doesn't have a great track record for health by any means. But look, when this guy's health, when he is healthy, he's a threat to opposing defenses. He's proven that over and over. He proved it last season. But going into the playoffs before he had that, I think it was a groin injury. I'm not sure what the injury was, but it was a big asset for us. We don't have many wide receivers that can really stretch the field for that deep ball. That was something that actually Diami did, and so Noah can do that, and he has done it. I know usually if you can get into practice by Friday, uh, you might be able to play. If you don't practice by Friday, it doesn't really look too good. I think Bates was kind of in that same boat.
Right.
Practice Thursday or Friday, and again, Luke or the rookie in Lane, if they can't go, one of them's got to step up. Um,
Yeah.
See where it goes. Yeah.
I agree with you. I will say this. I'm actually more concerned. Obviously, we're concerned about the Jayden Daniels issue, and
Yes.
DQ said that he would not he would practice no sooner than Friday, which is when
Oh, okay.
we would know. But I will say what concerns me out of those injuries outside of Jayden Daniels is actually John Bates. I'm big on blocking, and it always starts with that.
Hmm.
So it's like it's great. You're great. You're a tight end. Can you block?
Yeah.
Remember when I said the whole thing about the trade? My concern with Brian Robinson with the trade was that, hey, I'm happy that Bill Merritt is doing great. Can he block?
Right.
Right,
Right.
right. Like
Yeah.
that's just a thing for me. Can you block? Like
Yep.
I remember telling you one of my favorite thing about Clinton Portis is he loved to block.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, and
Yep.
so I'm like I'm happy if we have wide receivers. Can you block?
Yeah.
Right,
For
and
sure.
so for me, losing John Bates is significant.
Yeah.
Losing him is significant because he is a blocking tight end, and I was big on re-signing him, and I'm big on it starts in the trenches. Uh, Losing him to me is very, very significant. So it is my
Hmm.
hope that they have someone there. We're hoping that's Senate to be able to do that for sure.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna head into our next segment, Kevin, which is obviously our last one, and we're gonna discuss the game against the Raiders this Sunday at 1 p.m. at Northwest Stadium. Now, I want to give our listeners a bit of a programming note. This show was recorded much earlier in the week than Kevin and I usually record it due to some scheduling conflicts. So as of now, we do not know who is going to be playing QB. So what Kevin is going to do is he's going to give us two analysis. He's going to give us one what Washington has to do to win with Mariota, and then what Washington has to do to win with Jayden Daniels. So Kevin, what you got for us?
Yeah. I kind of have kind of the same thing for both actually. Maybe a little bit more of the run game with Mariota.
Mhm.
Just because I don't think he has the same arm or speed as Jayden, obviously.
Mhm.
So I would have no issue with the backs getting more touches. Um, but ultimately, I think just the keys there would be just all around, not even just for them, just the keys to winning the game too, right? Ginty, actually, they're running back, even more so Brock Bowers. I know they played the Patriots last week, and their entire run game was shut down. Um, I think Ginty had 20 touches for under 40 yards,
Uh huh.
but they ended up losing that game, and the reason why is because they couldn't stop Bowers or Myers.
Mhm.
Both of them had a decent amount of catches. I think one had 8. I think Myers had 8, and Bowers had 5, and I think Bowers was way over 100, and I think Myers is right at 100. Um, but look with either quarterback, there's one guy on that defense that you really got to watch out for, and I think we all
Mhm.
know who that is.
Mhm.
Um, and that's Crosby.
Mhm.
You got to know where that guy is at all times,
Yes.
especially after last week. I don't know if Conley maybe needs some extra help over there. I don't know what you got. I don't know what you got to do.
Mhm.
But if Jayden's playing, if anyone's playing, but especially if Jayden's playing, you can't have that. You can't have him getting hit like he
Right.
was last week. Um, and look, I don't know if I had to double check, but I want to say I have no problem with either of these quarterbacks attacking the secondary. And I have to double check this, but I believe that statistically, the Raiders were one of the worst secondaries in the league last season. And I don't know if they've done a whole lot to improve that secondary. Um,
No, they haven't.
right. So that would be something I would, to take a chance at, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you about that. Everything about this reads to me as a trap game, but not so much because we lost the game against Green Bay,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
I had circled this as a possible trap game. I like Pete Carroll. I like what he's doing. It's still a game that I feel that we should win.
Yeah.
But it's also a game that I could see being the type that we could lose if we come out like we did against Green Bay, for sure. And
And this is a this is a
yeah,
home game too, right? For us.
yes, it's our home game.
Yes. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, and I won't lie, Kevin. To some degree, I am scared out of my mind because none of these injuries are good. I hate them all, and I'm ready to implode. So we better win this game against the Raiders, or I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose my mind. So
Yeah.
we'll be
Yeah.
back next week, though, to give you a recap of that Commanders game against the Raiders that we're going to hopefully get that win in. We're hoping to bounce back from that week 2 loss against Green Bay. So for Kevin Bayne, I am Dr. Wonderful, Doctor of Writing, Professor of English, and avid Commanders fan. And this has been your weekly edition of Commanders Wrap, where you get all your Commanders news and a little bit of opinion too.